this is Zach with Deeply Driven Outdoors, and this year, right now it's March 10, and this year, just throughout the season, I'm going to be working on building my ultimate small water boat for my purposes. So I've got a larger boat that I like to take on, big rivers, big lakes. It's right behind me here. But I've had a couple of small boats just rolling around in my barn. Hell, before I even lived here, I had these boats. I just haven't done anything with them. I really just kind of need to sell them off. But having them has given me the idea that I would like to have probably a 12-foot flat bottom John boat's what I've settled on. I'll go into the reasons for that, later throughout this video series. But long and short of it is, I'm going to be doing a video series on small water John boats. I want to be able to, there's several goals I want to have with it. I want it to be both a duck hunting boat and a fishing boat. So I looked for a long time at getting like sneak boats and was really on the fence about getting a sneak boat. Decided against it in favor of John boat for the sake of being able to fish, or if I wanted to go like turkey hunting or something. I think that the John boat's going to be a little bit better for that. I want to be able to use it in small rivers and large creeks. So I live by a large creek. I also live pretty close to some small rivers, and even at low water, I want to be able to get up and down these creeks. A kayak is nice, and I have a kayak. I have an Ascend H12. I've used it for a long time, and I really like it for what it is. But if you're hunting, these areas a lot, you might get into a situation where it's like, man, I got to paddle 45 minutes. Like this last season, I had to paddle 45 minutes each way on a lot of these hunts. And sometimes you just want to be there. You just want to be at your spot. And there's spots further out that I'd like to go to that I don't think I'd want to do that with a kayak very badly, at least not very often. So I want motor power. I want something that's light that can navigate these small, shallow, like rivers and like larger creeks, as well as your normal marsh with motor power. A small motor. I want it to be maneuverable, physically possible to maneuver with one person, because I hunt solo a lot and do a lot of solo fishing, but sometimes I'll go with somebody else, so I want it to be able to seat two. My goal is to be able to launch it without a boat ramp, but not only that, I want to be able to launch it where I may not even be able to get right up to the water. So I've got a couple ideas in mind for that, including like dinghy wheels, or I have a light duty utility trailer that I haul kayaks on. There's a variety of other things too that I'm planning to use for the shallow water John boat project. I'm thinking about trying to put a winch on that trailer, so that way if I launch it where I'm not even terribly close to the water, or I can't back the trailer into the water, I can winch the boat all the way out. That's one thing I'm thinking about. Also, I've got a Garmin Striker 4 fish finder that I'd like to incorporate so that I can use a fish finder in all these little hard to get to spots, on these small rivers and big creeks that I'm talking about, that they either don't have boat ramps, or they don't hardly have any, boat ramps that are accessible or nearby. Large boats can't get into them. It's highly rare that motorized craft gets on these things. So my goal is to be able to reach the far corners of those, both for hunting, like for duck and like turkey or deer hunting, but also for fishing. And I want to be able to use the fish finder and find the deep spots and the structure and stuff like that. So I have a Garmin Striker 4, and I plan to use that on this boat as well. But I want to be able to take it off the boat and put it on my kayak or put it on another boat. So I don't want to make it a permanent fixture. So anyway, that's just the introduction to this video series. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I'm doing on these boats. I'll just put out some of these videos throughout the year as I make progress towards making this ultimate shallow water boat. This is the trailer that I've got. We actually converted an old boat trailer into a utility trailer, and the idea behind this was I wanted it so that it could hold multiple kayaks. We do a lot of kayak hunting. We've got Ascend H12s usually, but if we were going like on a camping trip with kayaking, I wanted to be able to take like kayaks and maybe like an extra couple coolers or something like that, or firewood or whatever. So I didn't want it to just be a boat trailer, but the boat is going to go on this trailer. I have the winch on it still, which doesn't do a heck of a lot of good from back here, especially with one person. But I am thinking about, like, you can pick up some winches for pretty cheap, like electric winches with a remote from Harbor Freight for like $80. I mean, I gotta get the mounting hardware and everything too, but figure out how exactly I'm gonna put it on here. But I'm kind of thinking I might go that route eventually too. So maybe get like an electric winch. So that way if I'm, messing with this boat, this is my 12-footer. If I'm messing with this, trying to get this boat on the trailer by myself, then I'll be able to. So Calvin has come down and he's going to help me out with the mud motor. I got the Beaver Dam Mud Runner. It seemed like decent price, good quality motor. So we're gonna try that out. I got the small kit, which fits 2 to 7 horsepower engines. I've got the Predator 6.6, a 224cc engine to put on this kit. So we are going to put that together and see if we can get her on that 12-foot. I got this 12-foot John boat. Like, it's not the flat bottom that I want. It's just kind of a V-bottom old thing. But we can put this motor on that boat eventually and make sure it all runs fine. And then eventually I'll upgrade to my 12-foot flat bottom that I want. I don't know if I'd want to smack that on a rock very hard.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. Interesting.
They'll be fine. They're not expensive to replace.
At least got 3 of them.
Right. So kit came with 3 props. This is the kit when I ordered Beaver Dam Mud Runner. This is just the box that it came with, plus then the shaft shipped separately, which is sitting on my utility trailer up over there. And this is the engine. So 224cc Predator is what I'm going with. So we concluded they actually send you with 6 grease points. And we were wondering where they went. We're looking at these screws to try and figure out. We're kind of having a hard time figuring out like if they needed to stay in or not, or if those were grease points. But there's only 3 grease points the way they ship it, and it's where they put the tape at. So they send you with extra grease points just in case, if you're wondering about that. If you get one of these kits and are wondering, and then those screws that they've marked they just stay put. So this kit sends you, I think they send you with 3 props. There's a 6-inch, a 6.5, and a 7-inch. We're putting the 7-inch on right now. So this kit comes with like these kind of stainless steel colored bolts, and then it comes with these brass bolts. And we put this whole system on with the stainless steel ones, but I think we're actually supposed to use the brass ones with the washers that it came with.
Bolts.
Yeah, grade 8 bolts. So we're going to swap those out.
It doesn't really tell you.
Now, the instructions are a little bit kind of crappy. All right, so remember, we did not do this right the first time. Put the throttle on first before putting the little gripper on. This is the eye bolt, goes through the handle, the kill switch on it. It's a kill switch tether. And that bolts into the motor unit down there. Perfect, that looks good. And then you just tighten it down, right? So this boat is not going to be the finished product boat. I actually have this boat, which is a 12-footer, and I have this boat, which is a 14-footer. Both of them are like, they're V-bottoms, they're not flat-bottom John boats like what I want. I'm leaning heavily towards a 12-foot flat bottom, but I'm not 100% sure. So maybe I'd go with a 14. But I'm going to try this stuff out. I'm going to try the mud motor on this 12-foot V-bottom. Also try it on the 14-foot V-bottom eventually, as well as the rest of this shallow water kit. Right, I'm going to try out the fish finder on this. Got to get a couple more parts for that, mainly battery system. And then I'm going to try out the trolling motor on this. It worked all right. So I'm going to keep trying stuff out on this, and then everything will be really easy to take on and take off. So once I get the flat bottom I can just take everything off and then put it on my 12-foot flat bottom, or possibly the 14, and then I'll just switch everything out to that flat bottom boat, and I'll sell these V bottoms for cheap. All right, that's the mount system on the back of this boat, and we're gonna fill the motor up with fluids first. So we got a little bit of oil, which it said to take. It just takes, this engine takes SAE 10W30. So we're just gonna, there was some oil in the motor, but it just needed topped off a little bit. It comes with this handy little funnel, this angled funnel. There are oil points on both sides of this motor, so you can actually oil it up from there or exactly on the other side. All right, well, that is the motor on the boat. We're gonna take her for a test drive on the creek. I've never driven one of these, so it might be an adventure. Get a little bit of extra gas with this just in case. Yeah, oars with us just in case. All right, turn that baby to on. Gas is on. Gas is on. Choke is on. And then we'll just pull start it, I guess. Yeah. I think with two people it's tough too. It digs in pretty good. With a V bottom, all the weight is going right down into the V, and it's just digging in the mud. Well, that was my first time driving with a mud motor, and it's kind of tough to control. And it's this boat that I've got it on, this little 12-foot V-bottom thing, not really probably designed for being run through shallow water with a mud motor on it. At times it was pretty tough in the shallow stuff. So I will get a flat bottom. I'm hoping to put some Gator Glide on that flat bottom as well, which should make it easier. But the motor ran pretty good. It died a few times, but I think that's just break-in period for it. I mean, it's a brand new motor, so it's just, I don't know, probably just a break-in period. But other than that, it was pretty fun. So I'm going to keep working with this. I got a whole lot more stuff I'm going to do project-wise. I'm doing a whole series on it this year. So hit the subscribe button, follow along with my shallow water boat project, and we'll catch you on the next episode.